Bismillah, walhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalam ala rasulillah. Continuing in volume 2 of Riyad as-Saliheen, book number 15, the book of the Remembrance of Allah, chapter 244, the excellence of the remembrance of Allah. Allah the Exalted says in the Quran in surah number 29, verse number 45, of which the meaning is, and the remembering of you by Allah in front of the angels is greater indeed than your remembering of Allah in prayer. Surah number 29, verse 45. Therefore remember me by praying, glorifying, I will remember you. Surah Al-Baqarah 152. And remember your Lord by your tongue and within yourself, humbly and with fear, and without loudness in words, in the morning and in the afternoon, and be not of those who are neglectful. Surah Riyad, verse number 205. And remember Allah much that you may be successful. Surah number 62, verse number 10. Verily the Muslim, those who submit to Allah in Islam, men and women, up to, and the men and the women who remember Allah much with their hearts and tongue. Allah has prepared for them forgiveness and a great reward, i.e. paradise. Surah number 33, verse number 35. O you who believe, remember Allah with much remembrance and glorify His praises morning and afternoon, the early morning, i.e. Fajr, and the Asr prayer. Surah number 33, verses 41 and 42. Narrated Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu that Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, there are two statements that are light for the tongue to remember, heavy in the scales, and are dear to the merciful. Subhanallahi wa bihamdihi, subhanallahil azim. Glory be to Allah, and His is the praise. And glory be to Allah, the most great. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. This hadith This hadith affirms that man's action carry weight. On the day of judgment, his action will be cast into the balance. At that time, Allah will endow these actions with weight, or, according to some scholars, those records which register man's action will be weighed. This is quite possible for the reason that Almighty Allah is capable of weighing things without even their physical form. This discussion apart, when action will be cast into the balance, the formula mentioned in the hadith, the utterance of which is very easy, will prove weighty. Every Muslim should make it a practice to repeat them frequently. Narrated Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu that Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the utterance of the word Subhanallah, glory be to Allah, Alhamdulillah, all praise is due to Allah, La ilaha illallah, none has the right to be worshipped but Allah, and Allahu Akbar, Allah is the greatest, is dearer to me than anything over which the sun rises. Muslim. This hadith highlights the fact that the formula which mentioned the praise and glory of Allah, His majesty and oneness are liked by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam more than anything in the world, because this is one of the virtues which will survive and will be rewarded, while the world and all that it has will perish. Narrated Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu that Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, he who utters 100 times in a day these words, La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah, lahul mulku wa lahul hamd, wa huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir. None has the right to be worshipped but Allah. He is one and He has no partners with Him. His is the sovereignty and His is the praise. And He is omnipotent. He will have a reward equal to that by emancipating 10 slaves. 100 good deeds will be recorded to his credit. Hundreds of his sins will be blotted out from his scroll, and he will be safeguarded against the devil on that day till the evening. And no one will exceed him in doing more excellent good deed except someone who has recited these words more often than him. And he who utters Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, glory be to Allah, and his is the praise, 100 times a day, his sin will be obliterated, even if they are equal to the extent of the foam of the ocean. Al-Bukhari and Muslim. Here sins means minor sin, and those which do not relate to the rights of people. This point has been elaborated in the preceding ahadith. Narrated Abu Ayyub al-Ansari radiyallahu anhu that Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, he who utters 10 times, La ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah, lahul mulku wa lahul hamdu wa huwa ala kulli shay'in qadir, none has the right to be worshipped but Allah. He is one and he has no partners with him. His is the sovereignty and his is the praise, and he is omnipotent. He will have a reward equal to that for freeing 4 slaves from the progeny of Prophet Ismail alayhi salam, al-Bukhari and Muslim. Slave from the progeny of Ismail alayhi salam is a simile for very precious slave. That is, it has the same reward for which the emancipation of 4 very precious slaves is eligible. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.
Jazakallah khair. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam.